Welcome to iTeacher Academy Learning Platform. Multilevel exam. New speaking test. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Burgutbayev Shermuhammad.
Thank you. Your exam starts in 10 seconds. Part 1.1. In this part, I will ask you a few questions about yourself. For each question, you will have 30 seconds to answer. You should speak after this sound. What do you usually wear at the weekends?
Personally speaking, I wouldn't say I wear anything special at the weekends because during the weekend and in Uzbekistan, the weekend is usually only Sunday. So I have only one day to wear whatever I want. What I'm trying to say is that during the week, I get to wear uniform and mostly semi-formal clothes, which I usually get bored about, like I'm bored with. And so during the weekend, I just try to wear something that my wife gives me. So anything that's comfortable will do. So I don't really have preferences about what I want to wear during the Sunday.
What did you wear yesterday?
What did I wear yesterday? It's an interesting question because yesterday I went to a wedding where I met a lot of my friends, and I had to wear formally because if I wore something casual, I think that I would be scolded and my friends would be upset because I was attending a wedding, and I had to wear a suit and a tie, and my shoes also were black, unlike today because I'm wearing just sneakers today. And so yesterday it was an important day. For this reason, I had to dress up and show up with like good suit and tie, which I did.
Do you prefer formal or informal clothes?
Well, when it comes to my preferences, I would probably say neither because both of them have its disadvantages to me. Because usually when I wear formal clothes, I don't feel comfortable, and I just want to change it. And when I wear clothes which are informal, on the other hand, I have to choose where I'm going because I cannot really go to good places where I can meet like people in different classes with like what I'm wearing. For this reason, I would probably say that like something between formal and informal would do much better than the other one.
Part 1.2. You'll now see two pictures. You'll need to answer some questions based on these pictures. You'll have 30 seconds to answer each question. Please speak after this sound. What do you see in these pictures?
Well, first and foremost, I see two pictures, and the first one actually displays a number of people, probably like more than the second one, as you can see. There are, I think, 7 people who are probably going out and enjoying, and they seem like they're watching type of a football match or a sports game because they are in a bar, in my opinion, because and they seem really excited and they're looking at a TV, a big screen probably, and I think that they are really having a good time together. And I think probably they're more extroverted than these two people because these two people are stuck in their room probably and enjoying probably a PlayStation game, probably playing football, FIFA, or whatever they may be interested in. And I think that they're having the best time of their life because instead of going out and sharing other time, I think they're just doing it at home together.
Which situation do you prefer?
Well, it's such a tricky question because I would probably go for both because I like staying at home and like playing PlayStation or like going to certain place and like be stuck in one room and spend time with my best friend. However, the first picture also doesn't seem to be too bad, because I think that you have to be surrounded by more people sometimes in order to let your hair down and recharge your batteries, because being stuck in one room probably will cause you to be stressed, and if you want to forget about your worries, I think it's better to go outside. So I would probably say the first one is slightly better option for me.
Do you believe young people nowadays are different to some years ago?
Well, not only do I believe, but also I know that it's for sure youngsters these days are totally different from those who are, let's say, maybe like living in this world like maybe 10 years ago. Because these days, teenagers and like young men and women have a really, this tendency of having different interests and different desires, and I also say better skills and more skills, in my opinion. And I think that our values also have changed, and I think that we are totally different than like probably compared to 10 years ago. Yes.
Part 2. In this part, you'll be given a picture followed by 3 questions. You do not need to describe the picture, but focus on the questions provided. You will have 1 minute to prepare for the questions and 2 minutes to answer them. You will hear this sound when the time for preparation is over.
Well, to start off, I have to say that I live in a very small place where we don't really have a lot of problems with the environment, thank God, because we are a very densely populated area, and the only problem that we may face is usually noise pollution and overpopulation. However, when it comes to the details about, let's say, something that is directly affecting our nature, I would probably talk about something that has recently caught my eye, and it's actually not in the city center, thank God, but like it's happening in the rural area of my city, in the outskirts of our hometown. And it's a place called Hojabat, and people from our country, they know that it's a very popular industrialized zone, and we have a lot of factories and plants. And recently I have come across one video, and I had to go to this place to see it with my eyes, and I did, unfortunately. There are a lot of Chinese companies now, I think, who are starting to build some plants in order to in order to extract something from the nature, like from our earth and from the mountains. And as they've been experiencing some explosions in order to get maybe coal, or in order to create some plants. And I really didn't understand why, but what I knew and what I found out when I went there and when I spoke with the local people is that it was actually a bad thing, because they were actually damaging the air, and now they have to deal with this air pollution problem, and they don't have this clean air anymore. And when it comes to the people, I think we just talk about this on the internet. We said that it's not good. Government sells us out to the other countries, and I think as individuals we don't do anything. I think we care to some extent, but largely I would say that Uzbek people, in a nutshell, are not well informed about this kind of issues. In Western countries, people know, and they always talk about climate change and environmental issues, but in Uzbekistan, it's not a hot topic. And in my opinion, I think that governments, and of course, if they care, they have to try to maybe run certain campaigns in order to let people know and really say that what we do and what we care about, or what we allow in our neighborhoods, really affect the environment, and maybe this could help, but I'm not really sure what we do actually.
Part 3. You will now be given a statement to discuss. You'll need to speak about both sides of the argument. You'll have 1 minute to prepare for the task and 2 minutes to speak. You'll hear this sound when the time for preparation is over.
Well, the question that I'm given is students should only study subjects they need, and I think that there are two sides to it. On the one hand, I really want to start off by saying that definitely it's the case, because whenever we talk to people who study at schools or at universities, they always complain about these unnecessary and irrelevant subjects that they are forced to study and sometimes pay for, right? not in public schools, but mostly in private schools, because in my country, even private schools have to offer the same set of subjects that public schools do. So in my opinion, this is just a waste of time in a nutshell, because when you are given a lot of subjects and you don't really have enough time to work with, I think that you're not going to really do something cool with your time, and you're not going to achieve any productivity level, in my opinion, because I think, in my opinion, what should happen instead is our government and our education system, like people who are responsible for this, should focus on the quality, not the quantity, and just try to give people what they need and what will be necessary for them. On the flip side, I think we should also not forget that most people who are responsible for the things, they know what they're talking about, and it's not like it's the first day when we are given certain subjects to study. Because in my opinion, like, since the schools have been created, the idea of schooling in groups have been let's say in existence, I would probably say that probably people would be like aware of these big disadvantages, and then I think that we would already, I think, taking care of the problem. Because people always talk about wasting time as I did, and I think this is something we have to focus on. Maybe we can make some adjustments there, but in general, I think we have to try to teach diverse set of subjects and different things to our school students, and especially to university students, because not only should they be good at like what they're mastering in, but also they should have some people skills, and they should also have some knowledge about different things in order to have, I think, in general, people skills.
This is the end of the speaking test. You may now leave the room.